I've always been bad about internalizing emotions and how to feel about certain instances. But I just want to address this just because this has always been my issue with living life. And this has always been my issue. And I think it's always going to be an issue for me. It's finances and financing, being able to afford to do things. And living's already a hassle with all the fucking bills it is. And it's not even catching with the extra shit. Like, just to have a roof over your head, plus internet, plus a car, and then to be able to work, to do this, to do that. Like, I believe this is kind of retarded and redundant in the way that life is, for the fact of how smart we are as a society, for as smart as we are as a group. And this is why I keep trying to hammer in education and mental health, because why do we allow greed to overcome us as a whole in general? Because what am I going to do if I have way more than I can ever consume and ever do with? Most will just hoard and try to spend it doing whatever the fuck they want. But like I said, you could never spend all the money. So what the fuck do you do with the money? You just hold on to the money. But what I've come to think and thought of in a perfect world, to make a world a better place, is you should have a limiter on how much you can have, because too much greed literally makes it hard for others. Because the reason why people suffer in this world is because we allow it to be. And because of the fact that others that have a surplus amount just don't really give a fuck to be able to try to help. And like, don't get me wrong, there are people that are willing to help, and there are people that are able to help. But what happens in this world is, for some reason, they see people are doing way more good than there is bad, and they cancel out that person, and then it's just like, bam. And the shitty thing about it is, it's just, if there was as many people doing good as there was bad, I feel like the world would be a better place. But to me, I feel like there's always more people doing bad than there is good. And how I always figure out is I could at least counteract the balance in my own life with people are always going to treat me how they want to. It's just my way of reacting and how to handle things. And what I'm currently having an issue with is, my sister literally died today, not even 4 to 5 hours ago. And the fucked up part about it is, I've known her ever since I was fucking 3. She's 30. I actually didn't know she was 30. Because I'm like I said, I'm not really good with the emotions and being connected and stuff like this, stuff like that. But I will admit, of all the siblings that did pass away, I would say she was one of my closer siblings, because I've also had another sibling pass away. And when he was put in a group home, we all got separated my junior year of high school, which is 2015 year, if I remember correctly, 2014, 2015 year. He died because they put him in the wrong group home. I had another sibling died inside the home when we used to live up in Higgins Lake in 2012. He was having if I remember correctly, he was having a seizure, and it was a very bad one. That one took his life. And then Skylar, that just recently passed away. I'm actually not quite sure of what it was that caused her to die. She did have cerebral palsy. On top of, her mom did 8 ball of coke 8 hours before giving birth to her. On top of, she's quadriplegic. On top, I did say cerebral palsy would be a good one. So, also she was prone to have seizures. So there's a cocktail mix of what exactly could have been the issue of it. But how I've always looked at her, how I've always saw her, is she's never really lived a life from the start of her life to the end of her life. Because how I saw her was, she was literally bedridden from my upbringing until her death date. And that's literally how I thought, like, I should at least look at that and think, wow, at least I'm not her. And I think of that as kind of cynical, that's kind of fucked up. At the same time, I'm like, I know my life could be worse, and how other people have to be like, well, there's people starving, there's people dying, there's people. I have prime examples of how horrible my life could be, aside from my adversity of, oh, yes, I'm a melanated person in America that has a mental mindset that's able to argue with other people, but for the fact that even though I am able to communicate well with others, I still find that there's a disconnection in the way that I communicate with others and the way that they communicate with me. They're just like, you're... No, there's always going to be a disconnect, because I'm not money hungry. I would rather kill myself than deprive people of other shit, just because if I have the means to do things, I try to the best ability that I can. I work, I do this. I was literally taught and ingrained to be the perfect example of how to be good. Even though if you ask me personally, like in certain instances, I would get how to be good, but in other instances, it's like, no, you don't get what good is. And I'm just like, wait, what is good? Is it circumstances dictate? Is it to help the team? Is it help? Like, what am I being good for? Who am I being good for? How am I being good? And I always question, how am I being good, or am I enabling? Because sometimes enabling and good kind of look alike. And it's just, when I overthink things, I just sometimes freeze and stop doing things, because I don't want to be accused of doing something bad. Because what is bad, what is good, these things are not really defined to me. I just do things. I'm just like, the reviews, I'm waiting. Nobody saw. Okay, okay, then I feel as I feel, and I feel like life is unfair and nobody cares, and it's more or less because we aren't taught to, we aren't showed how to, and it's just like, to my mindset, the thing that pissed me off the most, I'm gonna keep repeating it till fucking day I die, is finances, finances, finances. Ever since I was growing up, that was the biggest thing. And the lady was the first one to bring it up. Big fucking surpriser. Literally, she dies, and the first thing she's thinking is, oh, we can't pay this, we can't pay that, we can't pay this, we can't pay that. And I'm just thinking to myself, your fucking daughter died. You called her baby girl. You call her this. You call, like, I stopped listening to what the fuck she says. Clearly, what she says never mattered at any point in time. So I'm listening to that, and I'm listening to that part. And I'm like, I realize, but you're acting like we've never had finance. I was raised in financial crises. Like, we've always had finance. There was never been a time where we didn't have issues with money. So literally on the death day, we can't even think about the fact that she passed away. It's gotta be like, I don't know how we can, I don't know. You do realize in certain instances, some things wouldn't have been occurred if you didn't even enact the things that you did, like cheating. We wouldn't be in certain places if you weren't just too fucking horny. We wouldn't be in certain places if you didn't want to move here. We, like, a lot of things, in certain instances, I want to snap at people because I'm just like, you literally started a domino effect to what has caused this to happen. And it's just like, let the past be the past, but remember. Let the past be the past, but remember. And I always know that, like, clearly I should probably be mourning in some sort of way, but I realized that I don't do it how most people do it, and doing it out in public in front of them was not going to be the way to do it, because, like I said, her first thought was, how are we going to afford things? His initial reaction was a snap back. Like, are you fucking kidding me? He yelled at her because literally, fuck the money for a hot second. I get it. We're poor. Always been poor. Yes, things are hard to afford. Life's fucking expensive as hell. It's cheaper to be dead than his life. But first, let's mourn the death of the child before you fucking worry about the bills. Life will keep moving on. We get it. We'll keep getting fucked. We get it. Money's always going to be an issue, but did you really have to be like, how are we going to afford this? How are we going to afford this? Stop. Be sad and allow yourself to feel the feelings. Like, I never even thought about the money, but like, when I was younger, that was one thing that I did think about a lot. I'm like, I think statistically they got all of us because, like, it's the easiest and cheapest way to not have a job, but have a job to take care of kids. But at the same time, we didn't always make as much to be able to feed in as much as we consumed. Or at the same time, the lady was shitty at money management. So even though we may have made enough for it to be at least substantial for us to be able to do stuff, for the fact that she had no financial literacy or actually financial care for any of us, how I've always thought about it in my mind is, if I gave $100 to him and if I gave $100 to her, I know that $100, if he has nothing to spend it on, he's going to spend it on himself, maybe. But if he's got a family to take care of, he's going to put it on the family. If I gave that $100 to her, she could have the exact same scenario. She's always going to spend it on her. She could have nothing to take care of, spends it on her. She could have a family, still spends it on her. Why do I know? It's because that's how my upbringing was. The reason we had shortages of money is because of her. But that's kind of cool that she's getting a new pillow, this new dog, this new bird. But we have no food in the goddamn house. And I've always thought, aside from the fact that I feel like it's because of his low self-esteem and he just didn't feel like he could get anything better, he should have had some better wife. I've always thought, like, even if he didn't marry her, let's say they didn't get married, would I still be in America? I was assuming possibly, maybe, I don't know, because from what I've heard of stories, but she's also a pathological liar, but I think I heard it from him, to be honest. So from what I heard from the stories is, she used to have one other person before him, and I may have almost gotten married, was married, I don't remember. But from what I was told, that she cheated on him with the one that she's with currently. And when she was with him, though, her ex used to abuse the fuck out of her. So I'm just like, so she knows what bad treatment is, but I've always thought there's something wrong in her head. I just mean, like, there's a disconnection. Ever since a child, and I'm gonna fucking say that till the day I fucking die, till the day they fucking die, till the day somebody dies, I'm gonna say there's always been something fucking wrong with her, and there is. Because literally, how are you, like, even I, with my emotional disconnections, know, don't discuss money. I'm not going to leave. I'm not going anywhere. People have tried to ask me to go out somewhere. I was actually supposed to go out to a birthday party, but I woke up not feeling it. I woke up not feeling too well. I'm just like, write it out. And when I don't want to do things, I just don't want to do things. Sometimes I don't have good explanations aside from I don't want to do it. And for some side, it's like, don't fuck that. You gotta do it. Fuck. You know what? I got this knife to my fucking neck. Don't tell me not to fuck kill myself. I'm trying. I'm not fucking dead. I'm so emotionally disturbed because of the fucking way the world works. Like, I've always thought my only issue, aside from emotional regulation, trying to figure out how and where to spend my money, is finances. Take it that way, I would literally have no issues. I'm fine not socializing with people. I'm fine trying to figure out how to work. Working's not an issue, but you're telling me I gotta work for something that others didn't do a good job of doing before me. And I do get that my life is my choice that I can do, but it's to the limits that I am allowed to, because I do have certain things that disallow me to have the freedom that you guys do, because you guys, I'm assuming when I'm speaking to you guys are American. I am Haitian, which means I have a green card and things like that. So for me, like, how I've always thought about it is, if somebody asked me to do 5 push-ups first, I would need to sign a form before I do those 5 push-ups, where somebody else that was born in America could just go down and do 5 push-ups. And I'm just like, oh yeah, there's always an extra stuff for me. And I don't fucking get why, but yet again, finances, capitalism, the fucking system, it's just... People wonder why I want to kill myself so much. My only problem is fucking finances. My only problem is fucking money. My only problem is finding a place where I can afford to be free and creative. It's just, you could be on the streets, but it's illegal to be homeless in certain cities. It's hard to even try to camp in places because it's illegal to be out in public after so long. So why don't you just say, if you're homeless, just find a jail, commit a crime, because it's illegal to live. Essentially, it's illegal to be free. People say that they want to care about you, but they only say that out in public because it's nice to be nice. But is it really nice? No, it's fake. I'd rather you be mean but be honest, because that's still considered that nice, compared to being nice but being fake with that. I'm like, that's mean. That's just public nice, which is privately mean, which is, I know it's mean, but to them, you're king and queen and you're so prestigious in the way that you could rate your personality. I'm just like, I'm just fucking me, regardless if I'm messy, regardless if I'm clean. I am just me. You like me for what you see, or you don't like me for what you see, but at least I am me. And that's what bothers me, because they want me to be somebody else. Well, you know what? I want to fucking be dead, because what's the point of being alive when it's so fucking expensive to? Or maybe it's just the location, because I realize here I'm worth nothing more than what the fuck I can do for a job. Anywhere else, I at least have the strength and the energy to do things, to work for it. But first, how do you locate to places when you have no funding? I'm like, oh, I need a sponsorship. But it's like, I wasn't taught how to beg. I was taught how to fucking sob stories, but I'm just like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to beg. I don't want to plead. I don't want to cry. Honestly, it's all I want to fucking do is live or die, and neither one seems to be fucking best for me. I'd rather fucking be dead instead of living this fucked up society, but nope, I keep waking up and I'm just like, what's tomorrow gonna bring? Death always comes to visit, but death always misses me. How the fuck were you gonna get my sister, but not fucking me? I hope you're smiling wherever the fuck you are, Scarlet Rose. I'm sorry I couldn't have been a brother. But maybe I'll see you in a new life. Hopefully with legs, hopefully with working arms, and hopefully being able to enjoy your life. I'm sorry this life wasn't supposed to be as fun as maybe your other ones. Or maybe this was the life that you chose to be. Like, I think so creatively, I just wonder why nobody's blown my mind yet. It is what it is at the end of the day, and the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, I'm glad I didn't have a kid. I'm glad that eventually I'm going to die. I'm glad I'm not stuck doing this every fucking day. I'm glad the world is the way it is sometimes, but most of the times I fucking hate this bitch. Like, tomorrow we're supposed to get her cremated. I don't really know if we're going to have a funeral. I didn't see why, because the fact of the matter is there's going to be people that are going to fake pretend, oh, we miss her, blah, this, blah. Why the fuck didn't you visit? What money did you put into it? What? Because everybody misses you when you're gone, but nobody fucking likes you when you're here. I will admit, I could have always done things better, but I can only do it as good as I am able to. And I figured I wasn't even taught how to do half the things I did. I just learned how to through the screaming, through the fucking up, through the patience, through this and through that. And for the fact that I wasn't really taught how to live in society all that well, I've always just thought, one of these days I'll be successful as Suicide Plan. Why live in a world that I don't even enjoy? I'm only here because I keep fucking waking up. If I had a choice to, do you think I still would be? No. Nobody fucking listens to me. It doesn't matter. It's not my mental health. It's this fucking world. You say, what's wrong with me first? Why do you feel the need to ask me this question when I've done nothing? Oh, that could be the problem. I've done nothing. Oh, I've done too much. Oh. I hope wherever she is, like I said, she enjoys it better than where she was. And honestly, in a fucked up, morbid way, I'm glad she's dead because she's free to do whatever she wants. She's free in energy. She's free in spirit. But I am annoyed because life is a fucked up bitch. And I was even annoyed because, like, my thought of having siblings, and this is gonna go for all of them more or less, is like I've wanted that like picture perfect where you protect your siblings, where you fight for your siblings, where you help your siblings. I'm just like, I can't really help. Like there was nothing like I saw in TVs, and that's when I realized my reality is not your reality is not my reality, so my problem's not your problem's not my problem until I make it or until you make it. But at the same time, my problems will never be big enough to be everybody's problems, but other people's problems might be big enough to be other people's problems. I'm just not them. Who cares what happens to this little sore thought? Who cares what happens to the rest of them? Who cares what happens to my family? Who cares what happens to me? Who cares about my mental health? Who cares? Because at the end of the day, money buys everything, and we're too poor for anybody to give a shit about. At least I'll be able to talk to you whenever the fuck I want to, Sky. Thanks for visiting for the 30 years that you were here. Maybe I'll spend 12 more talking to you.